In this video, I'm going to be walking you through the top 3 B2B sales techniques you need to close any deal. In fact, these are going to be so actionable, you're going to be able to walk away from this video and start implementing them immediately. Number 1 is tonality, and a lot of people talk about different tonality and all these tricks. I'm going to make it really simple for you. Every single social situation you ever find yourself in, there is a subconscious knowing that is built off of tonality that categorizes you and everybody else in every social setting into 3 different categories. That is the boss, the buddy, or the beggar. The beggar is seeking approval, the buddy is just a neutral peer, and the boss is the one that people are seeking the approval of. And you do this through simple tonality of upward, neutral, or downward tonality. Now, a beggar or somebody seeking approval is going to ask everything like a question. Hi, my name's Tim. What's your name? So it goes up. Now, a buddy, a peer is going to say, hi, what's your name? Hi, my name's Tim. What's your name? You see how it's even? And then a boss is going to have what's called a downward tonality at the end of his sentence, like I did right there. It can be, hi, I'm Tim, and your name is? You see how it goes downward. Now, this is something you can literally start practicing in every social interaction, every conversation you have. And you'll notice from relationships to friendships to meeting strangers, having that downward tonality works incredibly well. So pause the video and just practice that. Hi, my name's Tim, and your name is? That's the approval seeking. Hi, my name's Tim, and your name is? That's neutral. Hi, my name's Tim, and your name is? Going down. You're really looking for that downward tonality. That tonality is going to really establish you as a leader on the call. It's a subconscious thing that happens, and when you do it well, you're going to see that you have much more control over the calls and ultimately have people looking to you as the leader and the expert. And the number 2 is having an offer that is focused on them, their language, solving their problem, and really them seeing your solution as the perfect fit for their problem. The mistake most people make is they say, here's what my thing does, here's why my thing's great, and you should buy my thing. And before I walk you through how to do that offer, I want you to think about when other people have sold things to you. When people rattle off all these cool things that it has, but none of it really connects or resonates with what you want to solve and your problems and your desires, does it really matter how much value they're giving you? No, it really doesn't. But on those calls where you really feel like this person understands you, they understand your problem, they can solve your problem, they've already solved your problem for other clients before, you have a feeling of trust with them, you've built some rapport with them, you want to sign up because you want to get your problem solved, you want to get that outcome. And that is the biggest thing, is think about the times you've been sold. It wasn't because of all of the cool features it had. I mean, maybe on a low price offer, but really for a solid solution, you wanted the confidence and you wanted the feeling that this was going to solve your problem. The way that you do that is, number 1, use their language. Listen on the discovery call. Listen throughout the conversations you have with them. What is language that they're using? And make sure when you're creating a pitch or creating an offer that you're using their language just so that it can connect with the way that they're thinking about this problem. Number 2 is focus on their problem. What is the problem that they have that they're coming to the phone to solve? Your solution should show how it is solving their problem step by step. Not just, here's my awesome thing and it does all these cool things and I hope one of them lands. You should really be focused on what is their problem, what are they trying to solve, and position your pitch in a way that really indicates that you understand their problem, you understand how to fix their problem, you've already fixed that same problem for other clients before, and your solution feels like it is a solution to their problem, not your cool thing that you want to sell. And that leads us into number 3, and I talk about this a lot. It is deal momentum. You have to keep the deal moving forward. Now, there's a lot of different pieces to this. If you've ever had a deal that was going super good, you sent out the proposal, they were bought in, man, it was like this deal was almost as good as done, and then it didn't close, that's most likely because you lost deal momentum. Now, I want you to comment real quick, go down to the comments and say ghosted if you've ever been ghosted before. And if you want to share more of your story of how you got ghosted, that's cool too. But go down to the comments and say ghosted so I can know that this has happened to you before. Now, the reason why you've got ghosted is because you've lost deal momentum. It's not your prospect's job to buy your product. It is your job to bring them through the buyer's process, not just the seller's process. You have to bring them through the buyer's process, and that happens with deal momentum. I always want to ask for the sell when I do a pitch. I always want to make it very clear what the next step is and essentially say, hey, when would you like to schedule your onboarding? It's, as simple. And the next step will be for us to sign up and do your onboarding. When would you like to schedule that onboarding? Now, a lot of times they're going to say, well, I still have to do this. I have to make sure the numbers, meet. Hey, my CEO loves this, but I got to get the CFO bought in. Great. No worries at all. Hey, earlier on the call, you told me that you needed to get this and this adjusted. Let me bring that back to my team. I'm going to get the strategy updated for you, and then we can do a follow-up call next week. How does Wednesday or Thursday look? So what I want to do is deal momentum is keeping the deal moving forward, or as they say, always be calendar. Always have that next meeting on the calendar. The area that most people mess up is they do a pitch, they send the proposal, it goes great, and then they hope the deal closes, and it's not going to close. I don't know why I'm getting ghosted. These must just not be serious people. No, you have to keep the deal moving forward. You have to be the one to ask for the sale. You have to be the one to make sure it keeps moving forward. You have to make sure their entire team's bought in. So that is your job, to keep the deal momentum going forward, to get the key stakeholders bought in, to always make sure that next step is scheduled. Now here's a pro tip. Most people do not want to schedule the next call unless there is some kind of value they're going to receive out of it. So you always have to think through, hey, what is the next call that I want to schedule with them if it's not going to be the onboarding? What are things that I can do to add value on my next call? Maybe there was questions they had on this call that I can frame as a reason to get on the next call, or developing a strategy with them, or hey, they ask for a couple things. Don't give them everything on the call. You can save that for the next call. And ideally, if you have really good rapport, you're really building value, and you keep the momentum going, what will happen is, as long as they know the next step and they're clear on that next step, and you keep that deal moving forward, the natural progression of deal momentum is that people will end up saying, let's get started, versus it having to be this 1 or 2 call close, which, hey, if you're selling a low end product, maybe your product's only 10K, 20K, maybe even 50K, yeah, you can close that on 1 or 2 calls. But if you have a more complex sell, like most B2B sales are, you want to keep that deal moving forward until it just naturally is like them going, cool, let's get started. How do we sign up? So that's the 3 techniques. The tonality, you can start using that one today. I highly suggest you start practicing that downward tonality. In all of your conversations, make sure you're using that downward tonality. And you might feel a little bit weird at first, but I promise you, you're going to immediately start seeing that you have way more authority, way more control in every single conversation. The second part was make sure that your offer is really focused on their language, solving their problem, versus you selling your cool thing with all your cool features. And then finally, keep the deal momentum going and flowing. You want to make sure that you're asking for the sale, but that you're keeping that deal going, because you know what? If you've got a lot of key stakeholders in the process, you're going to have to get them on the call. You're going to have to get them bought in. And the biggest thing is you want to keep that deal moving forward by offering value on your next call. That's how you get the next call. If you're not already subscribed, make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. In the next video, I'm going to walk you through the entire process of B2B sales, from running a great discovery call, which there's 2 frameworks to use. I'm going to show you how to really uncover the buyer's process so you can understand everything that you need to align your pitch as the perfect solution to their problem. I'm going to show you how to pitch in a way that gets them to sell you on your product. I'm going to show you how to get the deal closed, how to keep deal momentum, and then ultimately how to follow up when deals go dry. So make sure to click the next video, and I'll see you soon.